Hi ladies, my name is Ashley and I'm a Saint artist, and today in this video I'm going to talk to you about how to highlight and contour and what to do once you get your makeup. So when you receive your makeup, the first thing you're going to see is that they're in these really amazing tins. So if you just press gently and push, they will slide right out, and then you can insert them into your compact in whichever orientation you choose, depending on how many tins your compact holds. I have a palette 12 here, so you can see the orientation that I did. I will have my brightener, my main foundation, my contour, and my lip and cheek with a highlighter and an illuminator, and this is another highlight that I use. So there's that, and then the palette 18 or 27 comes like this, and you can see all this orientation as well. So this fits 9 on each layer, and this fits 6, and then the palette 4 or 8 will fit 4 on each layer, depending on which compact you choose. So once you remove all your tins and put them in your compact, you are ready to go to start your hack, highlighting and contouring. One thing I would like to mention before we get started with highlighting and contouring is, depending upon what season you receive your products, if it's the warmer months, just know that these are creams so that they can melt. So if it's a really, really hot day, you are gonna want to remove your tins from the package and just set them on the counter face up like this for a few hours, just to make sure it's solidified before you go ahead and push it open. You don't wanna ruin any of your creams by doing that too early if it is a hot day. Also, don't leave your compact in the car or in the sun. If you do have to, don't leave it like this because things will run. Leave it with the lid facing upward so that if anything does melt, it all puddles inside the appropriate tins, which I've had to do on vacation before, and works beautifully as long as you have it upright like this. Because melting the tins definitely is advantageous for us when we want to clean our tins up and melt them down and make them look like new again. So the fact that they melt is pretty cool. It's a nice way to make sure that we are able to use all of our products in our tins, but at the same time, we want to be careful when we're opening them for the first time. So once you have your compact all set and ready, if you have any questions, please reach out and let me know. Otherwise, we're going to get straight to highlighting and contouring. Today, I'm going to talk to you about highlighting and contouring once you have all your new makeup. So I most likely recommended the 3D brush, which has a dome at one end and like a elongated pencil point on the other, or the blush and bronzer brush. This is the fluffy end for the bronzer and the compacted dome end for the blush. So if you can only start out with one brush, it was probably either one of these. So when you have all your products, there's three things that you're gonna do. You're gonna use your main highlight, your brightener highlight, and your contour. Typically, I like to start with my contour, and that just allows us to frame out our face. I'm going to show you the places to put it. You just take your brush and you're just gonna tap into the product. You don't swipe. Just tap. You really don't need a lot. So I like to do contour on my forehead in almost, it's like a rainbow shape, but I come down a little bit lower and kind of feather it in to the peak of my eyebrow, where that comes. So I'm just leaving. And if you get just a small amount of product on your brush, you can kind of apply and blend as you go. So with this contour, you're gonna wanna push up into your hairline just to make that look seamless and so that you don't have any bare, skin showing, being exposed. Then we're gonna find our cheekbones, which is where you can mostly feel them, but where your ear meets your head if you can just come down that bone, that is your cheekbone. So with contour, we want to enhance that. So you're just gonna put it on the bottom rim of your cheekbone. And you can come in just to the corner of your eye. Just like that. And same thing on the other side. You can find your cheekbone and then bring the contour down. Now I like to leave my contour on my cheeks alone for the most part until after I have everything else blended so that I don't overblend. And you can always add more. Don't be as scared of the darkness of the color. I usually take the leftover of my brush and that's what I drag underneath my jawline. You can add a little bit more if you need to, and that's just gonna create, you can already see that shadow that's already naturally there, and you're just enhancing that to create a sharper jawline. All right, if you would like to contour your nose, you can. I use a different contour color for my nose because I have rosacea. So I'm just gonna tap into that. And you can use your fingers if you want. You can just put the product on your finger, press your fingers together, and run down the center of your nose. And that's gonna allow for two thin lines to be drawn. The thinner the lines are, the slender your nose will appear. And if you do not want to contour your nose, then you would just skip this step. Okay. Then we're going to go on to our brightening shade. That is your lightest shade. I'm just again going to take the tip and I'm going to tap it right into the product. And I'm going to put some right in the corner of my eye. And I like to come down my nose a little bit because that's all going to be brightening this whole area. And I'm actually going to switch over to a little bit brighter of a shade. Then you're going to go into the outside corner. This will help you see it. And again, this is going to draw focus to the center of your face. And then you can add some right between your brows, above your lip, and chin. And then I like to squeeze the brush thinner to get a thinner line to fill in between the nose contour. And then lastly, we're gonna go into our mane. And I like to switch over to this end and I'm just gonna tap into that. And this is just where you're gonna go fill in everywhere that you don't already have product. And you can use as much or as little to fill in those spaces as you like. I typically try just to do my smile lines here and my lower jaw the most because you have product everywhere else that's gonna blend in. So I don't really worry about the other places too much. Like you can come in here and do a little bit, but like I said, you have that brightener up there and the contour that's gonna kind of meld everything together anyway. So that's all the product placement. You can go on to do other steps, but you can check out other videos on my beauty page for contouring your lips or other things. So now I'm just gonna take this end again and I'm gonna start blending. I like to start up on my forehead where my contour is. Again, blending that up into my hairline. And then I kind of come down, bringing in the other highlights that I have. And I come between my eyebrows. And then I skip and I come down to my nose, above my lip. And I'm pressing. I'm not really doing any dragging. It's a press. If I do that, it's more like a buffing motion. It's never really like a full swipe. And you don't have to put a lot of pressure. This makeup is very blendable. And then the only place that you want to drag down is that contour on your neck. And everything else, you're pressing and lifting up. I will get back in to the corners with that pointier end. Come in and make sure all that's blended. Again, this is what some other brushes are really, really good for. If you're able to get a couple other brushes, that'll help you out, as well as even the Perfector sponge. The Perfector sponge is great too. And then I go up alongside my nose, tapping that contour in first before I worry about blending out that brightening. And this is just kind of my routine. Once you start to play and figure out what works best for you, you'll certainly get your own routine. So next I'm going to add my blush, my lip and cheek. So I'm just going to use a darker color so you can see it. And I put that right above my contour. And you can use your fingers or you can use the brush, whichever you prefer. I don't want it to be super bold. And I can also dial it down with when I apply my illuminator. So now I'm just gonna press this in and back up to my hairline, and I kind of do my contour and blush at the same time so that I'm not over blending anything. And then if you have to clean up, you can just take whatever you have left over on your pointy end of your 3D brush and wipe that to give you that sharper contour. So I do the same thing on the other side, just press and lift up on the contour. And that's, again, you see that shadow giving you the definition of a cheekbone. I do kind of flick my wrist and the product very lightly. And then again, I like to come in and just clean up anything that I need to. Okay. You can always go back and add extra contour if you'd like. If you want more definition, you can add more brightener to give you that line if you want, instead of adding more contour. There's lots of things, but that'll just help to really give you that more chiseled look. All right, and then last we have our illuminator, which we'll put on the high points of our cheekbones to just give that luminous glow. I just use my finger, I tap in, and I just press that on the top upper part of my cheekbone. I like to go all the way back to my hairline. Same thing, I kind of start where my blush was, and I just press that in, and you can just see that when the light captures that, it's just a really, really pretty glow. You can add some illuminator below your eyebrows. I used a shimmer eyeshadow underneath my eyebrows, but I love Illuminator, so I don't think anything's too much. You can put it right on your Cupid's bow to illuminate that area. You can also put it down your nose. And again, this is just a really pretty, soft, dewy glow that is super reflective and beautiful when it's captured by the light. And then I like to put just a little bit on my lips. It does change the lips a little bit as far as the color, but it also gives the appearance of a little bit of a bigger pout. And again, it just helps with that, drawing the focus to the center of your face. So that's it. That is definitely applying your highlight and contour 101. If you have any questions, please reach out. I'm always available. I'm happy to help. We can also talk about color correcting if you have any issues like dark circles or rosacea like I have, or anything like that. At this point, you could also add a bronzer, and you can really do that kind of any step along the way. And if you have more questions about that, I'm happy to answer those as well. So I hope this is helpful. Again, reach out with any questions, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.